Welcome everyone to the Sports Chat Network. And today in this video, I'm reviewing this past weekend's UFC event from Nashville, Tennessee, as the UFC returned to Nashville for its third consecutive year. As we had a pretty good main card, a really good main card. I thought it was one of the better fight nights of the year in terms of entertainment value. Very good. Like it was, I enjoyed it. Had a good time watching these fights after I got home from work. Just watching them and as I'm gonna talk about the main card and what happened. But before that, I want to shout Valter Walker. Valter Walker, that's hard to pronounce. Try to pronounce that three times in a row. The brother of Johnny Walker, the light heavyweight, fought in the heavyweight division and beat Kenny Nzechukwu in the first round by a heel hook, as that's his third consecutive heel hook in a row. Well, I didn't mean to sound redundant. I don't know why I said in a row when I said consecutive, but it is what it is. Anyway, his third consecutive heel hook victory, as he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's the first fighter, I think, ever to have 3 straight heel hook victories in the UFC. I'm pretty sure, because I can't think of anyone having 3 straight heel hooks. But that's impressive, considering, you would think after what happened his last fight that Nzechukwu would be paying attention to the heel, to pay attention to that, making sure that he doesn't get caught in it. But he got caught in it and submitted, as he gives Kenny Nzechukwu his first loss in heavyweight. His previous losses were in light heavyweight before. And Nzechukwu looked good at heavyweight in his previous 2 fights after he's finally decided to go up in heavyweight. And Valter was able to get a hold, and just after I believe well, if I remember, Kenny Nzechukwu was the one who initiated clinch, if I remember, and then Valter went down and then was able to get a hold of the leg and then put the heel hook and make him tap. So yeah, good. I just want to shout to Valter Walker because Valter Walker is 3 fights in a row. He's someone to keep your eye on in the heavyweight division. He's 14-1 now. And people are talking about the heavyweight division in terms of lack of new guys and not exactly like the people are saying it's not the best division currently, and there's some arguments to that. But Valter Walker might be someone who might be an actual prospect to watch out for. So I do want to mention him real quick. As there's a lot of heavyweight fights in this card. This card, the heavyweight division was definitely the division that's being talked about the most right now in the UFC for the past couple of days and for the next couple of days before we really focus on the UFC 318 pay-per-view. But heavyweight division, yeah, like main event heavyweight fight, yeah, light heavyweight have success in heavyweight, and then of course Valter Walker, what he did. So good victory for him. As heavyweight division does need some new contenders, because not a lot of new contenders that people are excited for, etc. So good. So well, he's a prospect, more than a contender. I guess contender because he had 3 fights, but he's not ranked. You know what I mean? Like he's someone to watch out for outside rankings. But anyway, just want to shout him out. Let me transition to the main card now. First fight in the main card, light heavyweight division between Jiri Tafa, a former heavyweight, moving down, taking on Tuco Tokkos. Hard name to pronounce. I don't know why I'm butchering his. For me, I don't know why it's hard for me to say. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm pretty sure I am, but what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Tokkos gets a submission victory, round 2. And Tuco was able to take Tafa down and have the ground advantage. I said that Tafa had a ground disadvantage. It was not good on the ground. And it showed here that Tuco was able to take him down. And once he took him down, Tafa had a hard time getting up. He really couldn't do much. As Tuco was able to go out there and like control him and just lay on him and not really allow Tafa to get up or do anything off his back. In the striking exchanges, Tafa actually looked good. Like Tafa was a better striker. He dropped Tokkos and he rocked him, and he didn't drop. Well, he rocked him in the second round, caught him a bit with a right hand that hurt Tokkos. Even the first round, like he did catch Tokkos a couple of times before getting taken down. Tafa had the striking advantage here. Tafa looked good for light heavyweight. He actually looked like he belonged. Like he actually didn't look like a fat out of shape guy, but he actually looked like a guy in shape going down light heavyweight. And he actually landed. He did well in striking. It's just that he had no ground game, and Tokkos had the ground advantage. They would take him down, beat him up. Well, not beat him up, but be able to hold him down, able to do enough and advance and pass guard, get an arm triangle once, and they would get locked to the point where Tafa had a tap, as he couldn't really do much. As this was, I think Tucos' first victory in the UFC. I believe he was 0-3 prior to this victory, so this is a big victory for him. He needed to win this fight, or else he probably would be cut. So good victory for him. He gets a submission victory. Justin Tafa, we'll see because I thought in the striking exchanges he looked good. He had an advantage there. Now it could be just Tucos is not the best stand-up fighter, so it could be that. But I thought Tafa did all right, but in striking at least. But Tuco's got the victory. That's all that matters. He did enough to win, and yeah, I mean, who knows? I'll see what Tafa's next fight if he really belongs in the UFC or not. How's he look? How's he looking? Light heavyweight, 16 to be a light heavyweight, but. Congratulations to Tuco Tokkos. We'll transition from that to the next fight in the heavyweight division as Victor Petrino, a light heavyweight, moving up to heavyweight, taking on Austen Lane. As Vitor Petrino gets a submission victory over Austen Lane in the first round. I said Vitor Petrino was going to win. I didn't think by submission. I thought knockout just because Austen Lane is very chinny. But Vitor Petrino does have a grappling background and has submissions. So, and Vitor Petrino, first of all, for a guy moving up to heavyweight, he didn't look like a fat bloated light heavyweight like some guys do when you go up to heavyweight from light heavyweight. He actually looked like he put on muscles. He looked like a natural heavyweight. He looked good for his. He looked fine or good. Pause. But yeah, and he was able to take down Austen Lane. Austen Lane had no answer for Petrino on the ground. Austen Lane, he's athletic. He's a former NFL player, but man, I don't think he's not that good of a heavyweight fighter. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's just not that good, Austen Lane. I just don't see anything. He's chinny, and yeah, he's got some knockout power, but it's like he's feet. I mean, here we got to take it down. He basically looked like a fish out of water. Like he looked like he barely spent time training grappling and grappling defense, and he just looked so bad against Vitor Petrino. Petrino was able to hold him down. He went for an arm triangle, almost had it, but decided to let go. He went to some ground and pound, and he was able to get after a while, reverse position or Petrino able to get a hold of Austen Lane's back and be able to choke him out. Where it looked like a panic tap out, not panic attack, a panic tap out from Austen Lane. Where soon Petrino was able to get a hold of the chokehold, he kind of tapped, especially since his. And I understand if a guy gets a hold of your neck and really could choke and it's tight, you can't, it's hard to get out. But it seemed like with Austen Lane that but when Petrino, it seemed like he basically it seemed like he could have done more to try to fight Petrino's hands or try to tuck his chin and stuff. But it looked like he didn't. It looked like once Petrino got his back and was going for a naked choke, he started panicking. And then once he started panicking, it made it easier for Petrino to really put the hold underneath his neck like this and and put the rear naked choke where he didn't look like where he wasn't trying to he didn't fight the hands like he should have. Where he could have fought the hands more, in my opinion, and he could have tried to tuck that chin more so fight the hands. Cause I think it would have been harder for him to tuck that chin. Now I think about it, it just looked like he panicked, and I think the commentary mentioned that it was kind of like a panic tap too. And it really did look like that for Austen Lane as Victor Petrino gets a bounce back victory. He lost 2 in a row. He got fraud checked by Anthony Smith, which is a bad look for him, losing Anthony Smith in 2024. Then he got knocked out by Dustin Jacoby, who's a great kickboxer. And Dustin Jacoby is one, like I meant, a very good light heavyweight MMA fighter and had a good kickboxing career. And he did well against Jacoby before getting knocked out. Petrino, but Petrino looked good at light heavyweight. Looked good as a heavyweight debut. Got a submission victory. Good, it was a good test for him against someone lower ranked not ranked, but lower in terms of the caliber of heavyweights in the UFC. So, and he looked good. He looked like a heavyweight that belonged there too. And this is a message. I think Victor Petrino, what he did, it should be a message to a lot of light heavyweights that some of these light heavyweights should move up to heavyweight because the heavyweight division could use a spark of new contenders, and these guys have the lighter made skill, quote unquote. They should be able to go up to heavyweight and have success. Petrino had success. I think guys like Alexander Rakic, he should go up to heavyweight because Rakic is not going to be a champion light heavyweight. He should go up and just be a heavyweight where he has success and how to use his skills to win. He already lost to Ankalaev, Rakic. He lost to Yuri. He will lose to Alex Pereira if he fought him. So I'm just saying Rakic is the guy who should go up. There's other guys too I can think of. I was originally thinking of Johnny Walker, but then I remember this is like yesterday. I was thinking this, but then I remember Johnny Walker's brother is a heavyweight, so that wouldn't work. Obviously, he's not gonna go up in weight because of that. But guys, there's got me Jamal Hill. Even Jamal Hill probably should go up a heavyweight. There's guys in light heavyweight who probably should go up a heavyweight who probably, if they can pull in the muscle, weight correctly, can give a lot of these heavyweights problems with their skill. Just because heavyweight can use new guys and can use new talents, and we see plenty of examples of guys going up in weight and having success so many times in MMA, where it be guys like Dustin Poirier, who's about to retire after this upcoming Saturday, going from featherweight to lightweight. He was a successful featherweight, but still, his best work was at lightweight, clearly. Guys like him, Charles Oliveira, another example, featherweight to lightweight. You have, let me forget his name. Robert Whittaker going up from 170 to 185, Sean Strickland. So there's plenty of examples of guys going up, and Rumble Johnson being the greatest example, going from 170 to 205 and just dominating fools left and right at 205 for the most part. Obviously, he has losses, but still his best work at 205. So this precedent for guys going up in weight and having success. And I think more lightweights should do that. After seeing Vitor Petrino, what he did, more lightweights should go up to heavyweight and have success. A lot of people agree with me with my opinion. I'm pretty sure, as I saw a lot of people saying that in the MMA community, some people mentioned it in the YouTube videos. So yeah, I agree 100% with their takes. That's how I feel as well. Just want to make that point. So that changes from that fight to the next fight, which is featherweight division. Morgan Charriere defeats Nate Landwehr by knockout in the third round. That sucks for Nate to train. Not like Nate Landwehr. Exciting fighter, good personality. And it sucks because Nate Landwehr is from Tennessee. And this fight was in Nashville. So, his family and friends were there to watch him fight. A lot of them were there. The whole crowd was obviously cheering for him, being a local guy. And he got knocked out badly by Morgan Charriere. And I picked Morgan Charriere to win because Nate's been a lot of wars, and he relies a lot on comeback victories to win, and I just didn't think it could work, and so did Morgan Charriere. Although, to be fair, Nate Landwehr, he did win round 2. It looked like he was starting to break Morgan Charriere. It looked like Charriere couldn't really do much for him as Nate was landing more shots and was just controlling the pace of the fight. But, and in that third round, Charriere came like a bat out of hell and just went for it and just caught Landwehr and just beat him up badly to the was able to drop him with like a right at the end to finish him. And it was a very good stoppage as Landwehr was out. I know Landwehr kind of got up, but he was like wobbly and he was clearly out if you watch the replay. And yeah, this was a good performance. Good back. I think it's a bounce back victory for Charriere, because I believe his last fight, if I remember correctly, was a loss to Daniel Wood. So he got a bounce back victory, Charriere. I believe that, or his second consecutive fight. I know he lost to Daniel Wood recently, Charriere. So good bounce back victory for him. And Charriere has got power. Like, the thing with him is that if especially beginning of rounds, it seems like he really has the power to knock you out. And if you're not careful, he can just catch you and drop you and finish you like they did to poor Nate the Train. As this was a good victory for Charriere. Fun fight overall for the most part. I enjoyed the fight, and yeah, it just sucks seeing Nate Landwehr, get knocked down from his family and friends. That's just who knows? Yeah, Nate Landwehr will probably fight again, but he's older. He's taking a lot of damage, so he might retire soon. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, that was bad. That sucks. Guy like Nate the Train, it just sucks seeing him get knocked out like that by Morgan Charriere. Even though I picked him to win, but still, I was hoping Nate could do it. Especially since Nate had a good second round, like I mentioned, won that second round clearly. It looked like he was starting to maybe pull away the fight, because a lot of people thought Nate won the first round, which I disagree. I thought Morgan won the first round, but it was a close round. So it's possible that some of the judges might have Nate up 2-0, maybe. You never know. Hometown cooking, hometown advantage for Nate. So these judges might sway towards Nate in a close round just because he's the local guy. So Morgan Charriere probably needed that knockout to save himself from an L. So he did. So he saved himself from the judge's decision. And like I said, it had 1-1 going round 3, but it doesn't matter because Morgan Charriere got the impressive knockout victory. So congrats to him for that victory. So I transitioned from that fight to the next fight, which is featherweight division also. Calvin Kattar against Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia wins by decision. I already thought Garcia was going to get a knockout, but I was wrong. Calvin Kattar is one tough man. That dude, wow. I don't think Calvin's been just knocked out. I'm trying to think. I don't think he has. If he has been knocked out, it's probably been a long time. Like, I mean, I should have known. I mean, his chin still holds up surprisingly, considering the Holloway beating that he got from Max Holloway back in 2021, which is, in my opinion, one of the great performances by a fighter ever. That Holloway performance against Calvin Kattar, but Calvin Kattar, they proved that still has a tough chin and is still a tough bastard. You know, he got dominated by Steve Garcia. Garcia just landed a bunch of shots to his face, rights, lefts. He landed some body shots too, but just outboxed him, just outworked him. Garcia dropped him in the dirt round two, but Calvin got up immediately and was able to survive and even land some decent shots on Garcia despite getting dropped. This fight was basically Calvin was a step behind. Every time, Garcia landed like 2, 3 shots before Calvin landed one. It just kept happening repeatedly a lot in this fight. That's what it was. And Calvin, Calvin doesn't have like that one punch knockout ability to where if he catches Garcia, you can hurt him. And Garcia was able to just pick him apart and just beat him up for 3 rounds in this fight. Garcia looked good. This is the biggest victory of his career. He's probably gonna get ranked now because of this victory. In his fight does snap his 5-fight knockout streak he had going into Saturday. So, but he'll take it. He won the fight. He won convincingly. He dropped Calvin Kattar, and he probably had a shot to knock him out, finish him, but didn't happen. And Calvin Kattar is one tough man. And Calvin Kattar, with Calvin Kattar, it just seems like this is the end. Like that injury in particular against Arnold Allen really hurt him badly. Something the Holloway lost, but which I disagree because he came back. He took a year off after getting knocked out, after getting beat up by Holloway. Beat Giga Chikadze, who was on a win streak at that point. Made Giga look silly in that fight. Dominated him. Then fought Josh Emmett and got robbed against Josh Emmett. One of the worst robberies I've seen, especially that whole year was full of robberies in 2022. And he got robbed. I mean, go back and watch that fight. Calvin Kattar clearly beat Josh Emmett. I don't know how the judges gave round 4 to Emmett when that was the most obvious Calvin Kattar round 2. And that still bothers me to this day. And he looked good. To me, if the judges got that right, maybe Calvin Kattar fighting for an interim belt against Charriere instead of Emmett in 2023. And who knows how MMA history would be. But then Kattar fought Arnold Allen. Allen was doing well. Calvin basically went for that jumping flying knee and then basically tore his ACL and I think MCL. I know it was ACL and fucked up his knee. Since then, he really hasn't been the same. He basically fought Aljamain Sterling, who looked gun shine, and that was a terrible fight, the worst fight UFC 300. And part of it was Aljamain Sterling's fault too. Aljamain Sterling really didn't do much against Calvin Kattar, so Sterling deserves just as much as blame for that as Calvin Kattar. So take a sip of his Coke real quick. But yeah, that fight, and then I'm trying to remember who he fought to Aljamain. He fought somebody else. Let me check real quick who he fought to Aljamain Sterling. He fought Zalal. Zalal, like, even Zalal in the third round just ran away, just was on his bicycle and was frustrating to watch. It was terrible seeing Zalal just run, not do much, just running. Ugh, that was disgusting to see what Zalal did. But the first 2 rounds, Zalal actually was landing on Calvin Kattar, was actually fighting. Just Calvin couldn't do much. And it's like, man, Calvin Kattar before that knee injury would have beaten Zalal, in my opinion. Especially if Zalal was engaging like he was the first 2 rounds. And now you have this fight where it was the old Calvin Kattar. I feel like he would have beaten Steve Garcia. I really do. I just knew going in that Calvin Kattar wasn't the same. That knee injury really fucked him up. And that he just lost a step, and he ain't the same guy. Calvin Kattar a couple of years ago was a top 5 featherweight in the world, and now he's just falling off. And it's sad because I enjoy watching Calvin Kattar, but Steve Garcia, man, good performance, definitely ranked. A guy who's really turned his career around, on a 6-fight win streak now. He's really, this is a guy who might be a somewhat dark horse in that featherweight division. I'm interested to see who he fights next, as he's in his prime 33. So we'll see if he can make that push in his mid-30s to championship level. Guy, looked very good, solid boxing, and usually has knockout power, but didn't knock out Calvin Kattar. But yeah, Great performance by Garcia. He's probably gonna fight somebody ranked next. Excuse me. I don't know who, but he's definitely gonna do that. I'm interested to see who he fights next, Steve Garcia. But shout out to him. As I transition from that to the welterweight division, in the co-main event, as Gabriel Bonfim gets a split decision over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. This was a robbery, man. I don't agree with the judges at all. This was a terrible decision. How? I don't get how they gave round 3 to Gabriel Bonfim, because that's what it came out to. Round 1 was clearly Gabriel, because Gabriel took him down. Wonderboy did nothing that first round, and Gabriel went for a submission, had a submission attempt on Wonderboy or a naked choke. Didn't he really didn't. Wonderboy didn't do much in that round. Round 2, Wonderboy won because he caught Gabriel with several head kicks. And that last head kick with like 15 seconds to go, like rocked him badly, and it won the round. And he landed some good shots. I don't know why I butchered that. I repeat myself there, but anyway, he landed basically like several good shots leading up to that fight. I mean, leading up to that round wheel kick. No, it wasn't a wheel kick, was it? No, it was just a regular head kick. I know he threw a wheel kick in like I think the end of round 1 he drew one Wonderboy but missed. But yeah, it was a head kick he landed on Gabriel Bonfim. That won round 2. This is after he got his shin split open. Well, not split open, but yeah, cut on his shin. Like it was a nasty cut. Like if you haven't seen it, just go get Wonderboy's shin injury or shin cut. It was a nasty cut that he got when Bonfim checked one of Wonderboy's kicks. His Wonderboy fell, and I can imagine how much pain he was in. Probably was in a lot of pain too. Oof. And yeah, in the third round, he kept pressing forward despite that and drew body kicks in that third round. He outlanded Gabriel's Bonfim and actually landed I believe, a head kick on Gabriel Bonfim in that third round too. And he outlanded Bonfim. He did more. He landed body kicks. He landed head kick. He landed punches on Bonfim. Bonfim in that third round, all he did was go for takedowns, and got it was a secure one, but did nothing. Didn't advance position. Didn't try to go for submission. Didn't barely do ground and pound. Did terrible ground and pound that fight. And he did not deserve to win. Wonderboy should have won because he did more. He actually landed more. He did more damage. He had more impact to me in that fight. Well, Gabriel Bonfim just went for takedowns, got one, and didn't do none of that takedown at all. Didn't advance guard like I mentioned, advance position. Didn't go for a submission. Didn't go for a ground and pound. Nothing significant at all. At the end, he was throwing punches, but that was after Wonderboy, after being in clinch in the final 10 seconds, started throwing punches like this. And Gabriel started throwing punches in the clinch after Wonderboy got up. This was a terrible decision. The judges got this one wrong. I don't agree with it at all. Wonderboy got robbed. This is terrible, man. Gabriel Bonfim did not deserve to win this fight. And Gabriel Bonfim looked terrible because I mentioned he did takedowns, but the thing was he'd go for a takedown and then Wonderboy would get up immediately, or at times he would struggle for taking Wonderboy down. And even when he got Wonderboy down, like I mentioned, Wonderboy got up, and Bonfim didn't really try to go for submission attempts or try to control him, except for that little part in the first round, like mid and a half stretch. And this is bad because it's like, wait a minute, you're getting Wonderboy, who, yes, is Wonderboy, a guy who at times can be hard to take down, but once you get a hold of him, he's easy to take down. Once you get your hands on Wonderboy's whole career has been this. You get your hands on him, you can take him down and control him. Wonderboy's not known for elite grappling defense. He's just not. I mean, it's not like people submit him left to right. He's only been submitted once, but it's well known that if you're able to take Wonderboy down, if you ever get a hold of him, you could take him down and hold him down. We've seen guys like Bilal Muhammad do it. We saw Caleb Burns do it. We saw Shavkat do it. If you're supposed to be like this next evolution of MMA, of welterweight, Gabriel Bonfim, you should be able to take Wonderboy down much easier once you get a hold of him and actually keep him down and actually go for submissions and ground and pound and hold him down. As those three guys I mentioned were able to do. Yet Gabriel couldn't do that. And plus in defeat, Gabriel looked completely lost against Wonderboy. Now I understand Wonderboy is one of the best strikers in UFC history, but this is a 42-year-old Wonderboy who's had a lot of fights in kickboxing and MMA, who Bonfim basically just looked completely lost for most of the stand-up. And this fight told me that Gabriel Bonfim, if you fought anyone in the top 10, would get his ass whooped. This was not a fight that told me Gabriel Bonfim was ready to be ranked. First of all, he didn't win. But even if they do put him against someone ranked, he's not exactly the guy who I think is going to go out there and make a run for the title. I just don't see it. Like, I think guys in the top 10 welterweight are going to beat him up badly. Bonfim's not. He's not legit, like, top-tier welterweight. Not to me. And I picked Gabriel to win this fight too, but man, what I saw here did not tell me anything that this dude's gonna make a run in welterweight. It didn't. It told me that this guy I can't trust in welterweight and that he's gonna get beat up by the top elite welterweight division. That's what this told me. And plus he got robbed. Plus he was gifted a robbery decision, in my opinion, over Wonderboy. So yeah, it was a good fight though. It was entertaining for the most part, thanks to Wonderboy, but. Wonderboy made entertaining. Bonfim, yeah, I was not impressed by Gabriel Bonfim. I don't think he's going to do anything welterweight. That's just my opinion. But changing from that to the main event, Derrick Lewis taking on Tallison Teixeira. I can't believe it. Man, I should have not bet against my boy, the Black Beast. What was I thinking, man? I can't believe it. The fuck was I thinking picking Tallison Teixeira? What was it? You know what it was? Is that Derrick Lewis, he's older, he's taking a lot of damage. I don't know what Derrick Lewis is going to show up. I just thought maybe Teixeira might catch him and finish him just because he's at all finishes in his career. But I didn't take into account the competition he was facing. Freaking not Gabriel, Tallison Teixeira. I did not take that account like I should have with him against Derrick Lewis. I should have taken that account, but I didn't like a fool. And Derrick Lewis made me look an idiot for betting against him. My boy Black Beast, who, by the way, had 14 knockouts prior to this fight, which, keep in mind, Derrick Lewis had more knockouts than Tallison Teixeira at fights. And, let that sink in. Derrick Lewis had 14 UFC knockouts, which was the most, I believe, I know in the heavyweight division. I think it might be the most in the UFC. I'm not sure, but Derrick Lewis had more knockouts in the UFC than Tallison Teixeira had fights. I just want you to know that. And Derrick Lewis now got 15 knockouts in the UFC. I think he's got like 20 plus in his MMA career. And the thing with his fight is that some people were saying it was an early stoppage. I thought so at first, but then when I think about it and I watched it, it actually was a good stoppage by Jason Herzog. It was a great stoppage. So what happened was Tallison Teixeira caught him with overhand with a left. I think it was a left or it was like overhand right that caught Derrick Lewis's like left eye and it hit like the left side of Derrick Lewis's face and it looked like Lewis was hurt. It looked like Lewis was like blinded by a punch. It looked like it because I think it turned out Derrick Lewis was playing possum, was trying to bait Tallison Teixeira again to catch it because Lewis sometimes likes to play possum to catch guys as they go in, try to finish him. That's what it looked like here. Now, because I think Lewis did mention that in the post-fight press. He did mention that in the post-fight interviews that he was baiting Tallison Teixeira, and he basically caught Teixeira with a left straight, and that just dropped Teixeira badly. And he lands a good ground and pound, Derrick Lewis. And then then Tallison was basically getting up after falling to his side. No, Tallison got dropped and then he turned to his stomach to try to escape. And then Lewis lands a good ground and pound. And then Teixeira grabbed the fence. He legally grabbed the fence. You can clearly see it to get himself up. And then he turned himself around and tried to face Lewis. That's what Jason Herzog stopped the fight. And people were saying it was early stoppage because he basically turned around, was basically like trying to go forward at Lewis, like he still was cautious. But think about this. If you have to grab the fence to get yourself up from getting finished, like if you have to cheat to prevent yourself from getting finished, the fight should be stopped because that clearly means you're basically out of it. You're about to get finished. You're not right in the head, and then you're about to get finished badly, like knocked out. And when you take that into consideration, Teixeira only got up because he grabbed the fence illegally as they was throwing shots on him to get up. That to me lets me know that Derrick Lewis should. That lets me know that Jason Herzog did the right call to stop the fight. That Derrick Lewis got a proper knockout. That to me is a good knockout. Derrick Lewis fraud checks Tallison. I guess is it a fraud check if you get knocked out by the number 9 ranked heavyweight, a former title challenger, Derrick Lewis, who yes is older, but not Teixeira. Lewis was coming off a victory prior to this fight, so Lewis on a 2-fight win streak now. So I guess you could say a fraud check. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this was a fraud check by Derrick Lewis against Tallison Teixeira or not? I mean, let me know. Now I think about it, it probably shouldn't be a fraud check. And now I look back, Derrick Lewis should have been the favorite. The fact Derrick Lewis was a small favorite was a joke. And in fact, I fell for it like an idiot, and I doubted my boy Black Beast just because he hadn't fought in a while and he's older. I forget it's heavyweight division. Heavyweight division, you can be old and still be. You can be. Let me old. I mean old MMA standards. You can be late 30s, early 40s, and still be a contender in heavyweight division. In the upper weight classes, you could do that versus the lighter weight classes, clearly. So yeah, great performance by Black Beast, one of my favorite fights of all time. Had one of the fun. Derrick Lewis is always funny. He's always been funny. His post-fight interviews are always classic, must-watch CTV because you don't know what's gonna say. But this week especially, this past like press con, I mean not this past post-fight interviews have been hilarious with this man talking about how he's gonna ground and pound his wife. To that's his that's his next. He hasn't seen her in 2 weeks, and then that's his next opponent. To what was it? Oh yeah, I know they was talking shit. I I don't speak Portuguese, but I knew they was talking shit. To oh I want to fight. I want to fight next to taxi cab drivers he fought. That's what I want to fight. And the things he said in the interview about ESPN post fight crew afterwards, that was funny. Dude, this was an all time like probably one of Derrick Lewis's funniest like interviews ever. Like if you haven't watched it, you gotta check it out, man. This shit was hilarious. This is why we love Derrick Lewis. Not only is he an entertaining fighter, great knockouts, but he is one of the funniest motherfuckers ever on the mic. I am a man. This is why Derrick Lewis is one of my all time favorites, man. And people want him to fight Tom Aspinall. I understand that Tom Aspinall hasn't fought Derrick Lewis yet, and it's a fresh matchup for both guys, but. Derrick Lewis needs one more victory. Let's get Derrick Lewis on a 3-fight win streak before we think about Tom Aspinall. Let's just do that. Derrick Lewis needs to fight one more time. I know you called out Waldo Cortez Acosta, but Waldo is fighting Sergey Pavlovich next month in China. So we gotta wait and see. And plus, if Waldo beats Sergey Pavlovich, he's probably gonna fight someone that's top 5 or get a title fight instead of fighting back against Derrick Lewis. Although I like the call out, it makes sense because Acosta's ahead of him. Oh yeah, it was funny what he said. He's like, we said the fighter that they say he's not black, he's Dominican or something like that. He's like he ain't black, he's Dominican. So something like that he said, which is funny because Waldo is Dominican. Well, a lot of Dominicans, they are kind of black, but that's another story for another day. Let's be real. I'm not wrong about what I said about Dominicans. But anyway. Yeah, man, this was awesome. Like, Derrick Lewis definitely needs one more victory. Someone in the top 7, top 6 of that heavyweight division, because he has 2 victories over guys in the top 5, which is crazy. He has He has a victory over Alexander Volkov and Curtis Blades, who are both top 5 guys ranked ahead of him, and he beat him by knockout too. So Lewis all he needs is one more victory, and he can jump in and get a heavyweight title fight against Tom Aspinall potentially. And I think. And I hope that's the case. And yeah, man, if he gets one more victory, yeah, why not? Get him and Tom. Something new, something fresh, something different. I would love to see Derrick Lewis fight one more time for the heavyweight title. One more heavyweight title fight for him. Hopefully it happens. Wait and see what's next for him. Hopefully. We still got ways to go. But man, if Derrick Lewis and Tom Aspinall fight the White House, the heavyweight title, that will be epic. American versus British in the White House. Derrick Lewis is gonna sell the fuck out of that pay-per-view. His personality. It's just gonna be. I just want to see it for myself. But we gotta wait and see. We still got Lewis needs one more fight. We gotta wait and see. Who knows? Jones might come back, and now I don't want Jones getting a title fight, but UFC might make it. We'll wait and see. Anyway, yeah, this was a great card. Shout out to Black Beast Derrick Lewis for being entertaining and funny and putting on great performances for the most part. And being a great, being fun, being awesome to watch. And yeah, Derrick Lewis, like I said, one of my all-time favorite fighters. So I'm happy to see him get the W. Let's go. Yes. And great card overall. I enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening. Let me know what you guys think of the card. What you think was the best performance, and who we want to see Derrick Lewis fight next. And I'll see you guys next time as we got UFC 318 coming up this Saturday. Gotta do a video about that soon. Anyway, thank you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like. I'll see you guys next time. Good day, good night. God bless and peace.